Greetings, greetings everybody. Wherever you are in the world, I hope this is finding you well, and thank you in advance for pressing on. I know there's so much information out there, so many videos and links and so on, and we can get a bit overwhelmed and inundated. So I wanted to talk today about a scenario that's happened with me and how we can open enclosure. So many of you know that I talk, and Dara talks about transparent communication and really go into the source of communication. So not creating gossip, not creating drama, not falling into loads of judgment and condemning and blaming others and shaming them for what they did and so on. And a little scenario has happened with me in the last couple of months where I, let's say, gave of my energy and time and felt that I was coming from a place of pure truth and communication was great. And of course, my perception of maybe communication being great and transparency there and agreements very clear turned out that actually wasn't the case. And there was some misunderstandings and different dynamics got involved and energy. And this was with somebody I've known for nearly 4 years, a friend, who's been there, supported me in the last 4 years, and then we ended up doing a job together, let's say, a task together. And sometimes they say never, it wasn't really business, but it was just a gift exchange. And yeah, through maybe my actions, through not being fully clear along the way, and maybe noticing that agreements slightly changed, and then maybe not dropping in, not knowing how much I have to really drop in and moment to moment communicate so clearly and transparently, that it got a little bit tarnished. There's a few conflicts, little misunderstandings, little judgments crept in, and there was just this sort of friction between the two of us in terms of the personalities. Yeah, remember, these are the personality clashes, the ego clashes, and not the pure truth of who we are underneath. But when it comes to transparency, the only way out is through. The only way out is to really express what's going on, even if sometimes it's a whole heap of noise, a whole heap of waste of time, a whole heap of stupid little me stories, but they just need to get out. You just need to get out those judgments, those frustrations, and look at it. And that doesn't mean we have to get them out on necessarily the other person. It doesn't mean we need to projectile vomit onto the other person or blame them and shame them and so on. What it means is sometimes we have to do morning pages, write it down in our journal. Sometimes we have to shake, sometimes we have to move, sometimes we just have to scream, shout, cry, whatever it is that brings up the resistance. There's an opportunity to look inside at where the closure is, where the pain is, and then feel the pain. Feel the conflict, feel the stubbornness, feel the ego clash. And then what came up today, why I wanted to share this video, is that, the ego is very cunning, so it can quite easily go into like this sense of superiority, like I'm right and the other's wrong, yeah? Or, it should be like, who are they? They don't see what's really the truth underneath this. Who are they? They're caught up in their little story and look at it from this sort of superiority complex. And the thing with transparency is, because I term it the language of love, like there really is no hierarchy. There is no needing to be right in transparent communication. There's no needing to condemn, blame, shame, put down, win in transparent communication. Right? That comes from fear-based communication. That comes from let's call it the old ways that the ego likes to manipulate, coerce, condemn, overpower. So with this, I was noticing okay, so there's this opportunity to speak to this person, connect again, and I already had one little engagement and it was really superficial, and I was like, oh my God, I can really feel how so closed I'm feeling and she's feeling. And we had this little email exchange, and it was just wow. And I was feeling the reaction to that, the resistance. And then just being with that in my meditations and noticing the thoughts that then start to come, right? And noticing even in in that awareness and going, okay, the beautiful 3 words, right? Whenever we judge another or anybody does something and we start to like condemn them or put them down, we add 3 magic words, just like me. Now, even with that practice, or seeing yourself in the other, doing the mirror and having the empathy and compassion and going in and seeing that they're just wounded, and that seeing their wounded child, seeing your wounded child, seeing the wound and then rising above it, of course, that doesn't want to always happen very fast. And then really the realization today that I wanted to share is like noticing that in that opening, that me making that connection to opening love, because I always ask the question, what would love do now? And it's like open, right? And as David Data speaks about, it's like, can you open in the closure? And that was really what I said to Dara today. It's like, wow, I can feel that I really want to open the closure. I really want to open. I really want to, bring resolution and openness, but I can still feel that little stubbornness in me and that little like, no, fuck you, fuck you, and like, no, like if only you could see what you're really, how you're really acting and being, and then this like realization that is exactly what the other person is experiencing too. So with transparency, we always know that when we bring into awareness what's really alive in us and we communicate that. This happened the other day with a friend of ours as well. We had like a sharing, me, Dara, and our friend Juan, and with like long sharing, we do this sharing practice that I still want to share with many of you. And at the end, we could all still feel sticky, and then we were just like, wow, really, this is just our personalities, just our egos caught up in their personas, caught up in their trying to justify, trying to give concept and theory. And it's like, where's the real truth here? And then we came to this point, it's like, we have to die. And then we started laughing, and it was like, they don't want to die. They don't want to die. These personalities don't want to die. These self-righteous personas that we've created and fixated with loads of stories and, justified with all this other evidence to, correlate to us being it the way it is for us in our perspective, our view, our way, just had to die. So anyway, there you go. A little video today. I don't know. Let me know in the comment thread if this benefited you in some way, but I don't know. Sometimes when I have these little insights and realizations, they're so clear in the moment, then to try to articulate them and give context and backstory is sometimes difficult. I don't feel like I wanted to, just name the person, because it's nothing to do with the person. I'm just using the scenario, right? These are like role play scenarios that happen in day-to-day life where fear and let's say the false self, the lies, wants to close constantly. And our invitation, and mine and Dara's invitation, is always, how can you open? How can you open? Open to the disgust, open to the suffering, open to the anger, open to the conflict, open to whatever you're feeling inside, and allow it to be there, witness it, bring awareness to it, and then see how it moves through your body. And this is a beautiful practice, one that I've been practicing for many years, and still, showing up here and saying, look how it can creep in, and then just to bring it into awareness is always beautiful and funny. So thank you for listening, and yeah, hope this supports you in some way. Sending you love. Don't let that little pesky pain body, those old emotional wounds, let us create separation with ourselves and others and the planet. I missed a tiny little bit as I finished that video. As Dara would say,
everybody who's closed and gives you an opportunity to close is really a gift, because they're allowing you to learn how to open into closure, how to open even though there's closure in the space, open despite the closure, and then just